Hey, this is Talkies people from the future.
Yeah, we're like from the future.
I'm from the past.
And this is edited in to let you guys know that we're kind of ending Cohen Quest prematurely, and there's a little explanation to be had here. That it seems like the conversations that we've been having are retreading ground quite a lot.
Yeah, something, great characters, something, nihilism, something, good dialogue.
Yeah. Turns out we don't really, we don't have a lot of new things to say.
And I hate the idea of becoming, not excited about some of my favorite filmmakers. So
Yeah.
let's stop kicking this dead horse and do something else.
And the whole idea of the Talkies is to have engaging conversations.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
And it makes for good listening, but if we're not having engaging conversations, which we can feel as we're talking about it, then it's definitely going to be pretty shit to listen to.
Indeed. So
With
for
that in
now,
mind, listen to this episode.
Now listen to this one where we're
Yeah.
you keep that in mind when you listen, and you can listen to us fall from grace.
if we sound like we're dead inside, at least now you have some context. On with the show.
Taylor, hold on. Tell us what we're doing next week then.
Next week we're going to watch Blue Velvet by David Lynch.
And the idea here is that this is a movie that you've seen.
I've seen it, and these two guys haven't.
Right. So new tradition. One of us picks a movie to show the other two, basically.
Yeah.
One that we want the other two to see that they haven't seen, and then we get to address something fresh.
And you get to ignite emotion.
Yeah.
We'll
so
have
we can
emotion
get
in our
arguing
voices.
again.
Yeah. I want to make Talkies argumentative again.
Argumentative.
Again.
Anyway, yeah. Okay, so that's what we have to say. This is now our regular scheduled program where we talk about, what was it? What was this that we
Big
just saw?
Lebowski.
Big Lebowski.
Yeah, on with that.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
It's weird. Weird is I had such an amazing time watching the Big Lebowski with you guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
we,
yeah.
we
Today.
should just put.
Yeah.
We
Just-
should
just watch movies.
Let's just say that right now. We loved watching that movie, even though we sound dead inside. And I enjoy the boring episodes.
Hey, guys. Welcome to the Talkies. This is by Karman Line Studios. We are three filmmakers talking about movies. My name is D.
And my name's Kenny.
And my name is Taylor.
And we continue our Cohen Quest today on the sixth movie, I believe, in the series, which is The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
This is the sixth, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Close
we keep
enough.
subtract-
We quit
anyway.
counting a long time ago.
What's Cohen Quest?
Cohen Quest is the Cohen brothers' filmography, is what we've labeled it. We did Kubrick before, and now we're on the Coens, and we're in the middle
Watching
of it.
all their movies.
Watching
In
all
order.
of their movies, yeah.
From Blood Simple to Buster Scruggs.
That's it.
Yeah,
Wow,
unless
Buster
one
Scruggs
comes
was-
out in between now and then,
Yeah.
so there won't be.
There won't. Nothing's coming out. Nothing.
So everyone get their hot or warm takes or
Hot
cold
dogs?
takes.
Hot
Their
takes coming up.
dogs.
Who
Go
goes?
ahead, Kenny. Tell me what you thought about The Big Lebowski
All right.
from a filmmaker's perspective.
Yeah. Big Lebowski is one of the most enjoyable movies out there. I feel like it's one of the most rewatchable films in existence.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's one of the movies where I don't know if there's ever a bad time to watch The Big Lebowski. Always makes you think, always makes you laugh, and it's absurd while having a certain kind of profoundness to it, which we'll dig into.
Sure.
Yeah.
Taylor.
Yeah, I love this movie a lot. It's definitely a Coen Brothers high watermark, I'd say. It's hilarious. It's interesting. It's surprising. And
It's all those things.
It's a good time. Good time at the movies.
Yeah, I love it. I love this movie. I've watched this movie multiple times in the past, but I never grasped the movie because I have a hard time hearing people.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, no.
Damn, bro.
So it was cool. This is the first time that I actually grasped all the information because we had subtitles on.
Yeah, and this is a good one to watch with subtitles, even if you can hear people.
There's a lot of talking over.
Yeah,
There's also a lot of background talking.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. There were like little conversations that I don't think I would ever be able to hear that they put up on the subtitles, and I'm like, oh, that's funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we talk about the dude a little bit, you and me.
Yep.
about the weirdness of the philosophical approach of this movie. Not the approach of the movie. Sorry,
People's
philosophical
approach to the movie?
Yeah, the audience's approach to the movie.
Yeah.
How the dude has become a symbol for being the laid back life.
Yeah, very strange. I think because the movie, it's not strange in itself. The character is a laid back dude, and he doesn't give a shit, which is cool.
It's easy to relate with that.
Yeah, and it makes you want to say, yeah, I'm a honey badger. I do that. I'm a nihilist, but I feel like the dude, because we talked about this a little bit. Yes, last podcast, you mentioned, Taylor, that the Big Lebowski is a noir film, or maybe that was Miller's Crossing we were talking about.
Yeah, I said Big Lebowski is a noir film.
Yeah. And it's as if the Coens took a noir film and replaced the detective with just some guy
with a bum,
with just some dude with the beach bum, and just see how things played out. And it was awesome because what that makes it is the whole thing is a comedy. Mm-hmm. The whole thing is just this guy stumbling into things that he should never have been in the first place. It's never about him. I mean, it is kind of, but it's more about him, like, just interacting with things that, again, would have never been in his life were it not for these very random things that happened. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that is what makes the whole movie a comedy. It's a whole joke. And then I see a lot of people praising the dude, saying like, yeah, I want to be his lifestyle. I want to be him. And I'm just like, but I feel like that's going against the joke. Like, the joke is the part that it's the funniness is the idea that he actually doesn't matter, that there's no point here. That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
Well, it just strikes a chord with the general audience. The idea of just being so laid back and not having a care in the world, and just the surface level of that is what people are really into. And you'd have to like dig in. You'd have to either be familiar with noir films, and or dig into the Coen brothers like style and what we're doing with the Big Lebowski to kind of pick up on the noir parody, basically.
Sure.
That's going on here.
They were trying to do with the Big Lebowski. I can't imagine pitching this movie. Right. Of course, they had some real stock right at this point with their experience,
Fargo,
and especially Fargo. They
That is
probably
interesting,
could make whatever they wanted, but still explaining the concept of this movie, if they were completely transparent and said like all the things they wanted to do it, the ways they wanted to do it, it would sound bonkers. Right?
Yeah.
I wonder if when they pitch these, because I didn't even think about this, the Coen brothers don't seem like people who pitch their movies to other businesses to get them to invest, and obviously they do because they're big filmmakers. I imagine what they're doing is they're pitching these projects as the projects that they're drawing a parody from, right? So like Miller's Crossing, I'm guessing they were pitching it as a noir film. Big Lebowski was probably also pitched as a noir film.
Yeah.
Hudsucker Proxy probably pitched as like a Christmas movie. I mean, all these things, all their movies, even Fargo, just have such strong like aversion to actual
norms.
plot, to norms, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird.
Yeah, and it's why I'm so attracted to them.
Yeah.
No,
why? How would they be able to make these movies?
Well, and they're probably talented enough directors that they have a vision, and they must be able to communicate that vision in a way that makes sense
excite people.
to the right people.
Yeah. I wonder if the Big Lebowski like spoke to someone, or Hudsucker Proxy. I can't imagine those movies speaking to people.
I'm just saying, like,
Miller's Crossing,
if I had no track record and but had the opportunity to pitch a movie idea to someone, and I described Big Lebowski or Hudsucker Proxy, meeting a very skeptical audience.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so good
It'd be weird
being non-conformist storytellers.
How do they get investors to follow that?
Well, at this point, they're Oscar winners.
So it don't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an audience that are going to come to their movies.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Anyway.
Yeah, because they've already made good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my bigger point is just that their ideas end up being so fresh and outside of the box, even when they're couched in the mundane. Let's say like, oh, we're making a noir movie or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
Just a crime drama.
Yeah.
It turns into something that is completely unique. It is not like anything you've seen before. We saw that with Fargo, and we see that here again.
Yeah.
There's not a parallel to this movie. There are parallels to the character, like we mentioned Beach Bum, but there's really nothing like the Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Even in their own work.
Yeah.
And the movie did flop when it came out, and was not very well received, and later gained a cult classic status like 10, 15 years later.
Yeah, now I'd say it's well beyond.
Oh yeah, now
cult.
it's a bona fide classic.
Yeah.
So people didn't connect with it at first.
Yeah.
They didn't understand it at all. They were like, "This is strange."
That's another hallmark of, I think, really good writing. I mean, this has been the theme of Coen Quest from the beginning.
Yeah.
Characters and writing. But what really strikes me is you can have a writer who's just like snappy with dialogue, like really good with dialogue, but you end up with all these characters who kind of speak the same way, right? They all have the same snappy, awesome dialogue.
Aaron Sorkin.
I was going to say Aaron Sorkin is that type of writer. It's like all of these characters have this same genius intellect in their head.
Yeah.
Whereas in Big Lebowski and other Coen Brothers movies, it's like when you have the dude in the same room with Maude, they both have amazing dialogue, but you wouldn't have believed they were written by the same people.
Yeah, just different.
It is so different, you know.
I really
Vagina.
like. What's that?
Yeah.
Vagina.
I really like that all of the scenes that those two are together, the dude and Maude, because the dude is so obviously out of his league in just all of this.
Yeah.
And when he's talking with Maude, it's like Maude has like this whole, you can just tell from the way she speaks, she has this whole tree in her head of all the connections there and there. It's like, well, of course my father doesn't have the money. Well, the money's from here, and I got to get a baby and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, and the dude is just yeah.
And she kind of like knows who the dude is, like what kind of person the dude is, but never like judges him on it in a way, like just accepts him for, and almost sees the benefit in that too, when she goes to have him be the surrogate father, or not surrogate father, the
sperm donor.
Yeah, the sperm donor basically. And I think that scene's really funny when she says, she's like, oh, to increase conception chances, and he's like, there's one thing you got to know about the dude, and then she says, oh, I don't care about you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to.
I picked you because you don't matter.
Yeah, and then the dude's reaction to that is just he just kind of nods and just like, well, anyway.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, like almost like he just doesn't care. He's like, all right, that's fine, which is really funny to me.
One of my favorite scenes is where the dude's in Maude's office, and she has her friend there with the little pencil mustache.
Yeah.
And they have that sequence where they get a phone call, someone who's speaking another language, and they all start laughing. And I thought there's just nothing that better illustrates being out of your league.
Absolutely.
Like, than that situation.
Absolutely,
where, I mean, they're speaking an entirely different language, and they're all just able to go to this whole other plane where they're just laughing hysterically while he's in this place of crisis.
100% out of the loop.
So alienating. Just so alienating.
It's so funny.
Love that.
And he's still trying to like the dude's like trying to cash in on his 20 grand earlier on in the movie after failing to do the assignment, like he's like, oh, 100,000. He's like, all right, he's just kind of following that after just bumbling his way through this plot. It's really funny. And
I
Walter
really like the strong contrast they draw here. Maybe that's why I don't like Miller's Crossing so much compared to their other movies, is because that strong contrast isn't there. Like Hudsucker Proxy even had even though the whole movie was like a song and dance kind of thing, like they had this strong contrast of like the absolute huge controlling megacorp versus like the simpleton, right? And then Big Lebowski and Fargo have, strong different characteristics that are clashing. And Miller's Crossing was like all one thing.
It's almost just a normal gangster movie.
Yeah,
Almost,
so Miller's
yeah.
Crossing is the most generic of their films.
Yeah.
While still doing some weird
And it still does some pretty
Cool
weird
stuff.
shit.
Yeah, every now and then.
Yeah.
Like when he takes the chair and beats the dude with the chair. It's the guy with the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really saddened this time through by Donnie's death.
Yeah.
Some
Donnie's
reason.
death always makes me sad.
Yeah. Something about this time around really made me sad to see. I felt like the narrator at the end. I was sad to see Donnie go.
Yeah, he almost points out that was almost like in like poor taste.
Yeah.
He's like it's a good story.
It definitely was, yeah.
Wish
He's
they
like-
hadn't gone there.
Yeah.
That's a little messed up.
He's like talking about the movie.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like his thoughts on the movie after it's
Well,
ended.
It's funny. It's like the narrator is like an optimist with and everything has meaning type of perspective on the world, narrating a story of that it clearly has no meaning
Yeah.
behind it.
It's like taking the
Has no call for that
He's
kind of.
taking the
narrating
place of the audience.
a nihilist story.
yeah.
And I love that this movie actually pokes fun at the idea of nihilism, like misunderstood,
Yeah.
while being an ode to nihilism in itself.
Yeah, I mean, because I wonder if that's, because I don't know if they're self-aware that their movies are completely nihilistic.
Well, we've brought it up in virtually every movie so far.
Yeah.
Right. That the Coens are caught up on the idea of nihilism.
Yeah.
Now, do we pick up on that because we're caught up on nihilism?
No, I
Are
think
we
well,
projecting
definitely
a little
that,
bit?
that definitely is the thing. But I mean, when they're writing these movies, like a lot of really good writers don't put theme into their movie. It's just theme is just something that comes out from them.
Sure.
There's like
Their
I already
personality.
Yeah, exactly. I have a story in my head. I'm going to get it out.
Yeah.
And then you give it to other people, and they're like, "Oh, I see what you did there with the plot." And they're like, "Oh, yeah. Well, I wasn't. I guess. I
Yeah.
guess that's me."
Yeah.
And
I don't
so-
know. I feel like they have to have some awareness. I mean,
After
you have
this
this
amount of
scene.
movies, sure.
You have this scene where there's these screaming, insane Germans saying that they're nihilists and they don't care about anything,
Yeah.
but in fact they care a great deal about lots of things. And in the meantime, Donnie randomly dies from things not related to the event. Just
No, yeah.
dies.
Yeah.
Right. The one who wasn't involved at
Yeah.
all, and he just dies from a random
But that's
heart attack.
That's just
Like,
so their personality.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't know if they put a label on that. Is what I mean.
I mean, maybe not, but
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's why I'm wondering if they
If they
know.
think they're not nihilists, then they should do some serious introspection.
I'm sure they've probably thought about it.
And not all their movies are super nihilist.
No, in fact, True Grit is extremely
I haven't seen True Grit.
sort of a sentimental, heartfelt movie. It doesn't feel. It feels like everything is driven by fate, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walter is the best character also.
Walter, this movie would not exist without Walter.
He's insane.
Yeah.
Donnie's the best. Maud's the best.
They're all
Yeah.
the
Dude's the
best.
best. Walter's the best.
Yeah, well, surprise, Coen Brother movie, great characters. I even love the freaking landlord. You know,
Yeah, he's great too.
So great.
He's so timid. You just
yeah.
know their relationship just by how they interact.
Yeah.
Like he's too afraid to like step in and be like, no, you have to pay me or like evict him or
The
something.
10 days late
Yeah,
rent.
he's
And
probably months late.
He's
on
starting
rent.
off by saying, "Hey, can you come give me feedback on
Yeah.
my dance?"
It's like the dude has more power over his landlord
Yeah.
in this situation.
Absolutely.
I think the opening of this movie is one of my favorites of any movie.
The tumbleweed.
The tumbleweed narrating there's two intros in the movie. Like there's the tumbleweed introduction of the dude. It's just this tumbleweed, it starts normal scenes for tumbleweeds, and then it goes through the city. It's just
Yeah.
tumbleweed, and then strolling along on the beach.
Yeah.
And all while the narrator's rambling about the trying to make sense of the dude, trying to say like where the dude's honor is, or like where like what's valiant about the dude, but like struggling to find the words to properly build up this character because he is that kind of character that you can't really build up like that,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
and then into the most beautiful montage of bowling ever with Bob Dylan.
Seriously.
Like, why is that scene so beautiful? Like, I love that
I
scene.
wish I could have watched them shoot all the shots where like the camera's chasing the ball down.
Yeah, just
or
shooting it down the
I
alley.
would just love to see how because they're like moving
pretty
You know,
fast,
they got
yeah.
the camera on some kind of track, following the ball down the lane.
It's probably a dolly crane.
You think they're like two
Or dolly
lanes
jib, I
over
mean.
with a crane just
Yeah.
zipping down?
Yeah.
Even so, that's
Or-
crazy fast.
Or even
that's like really fast.
a wheel dolly. Some of them are pretty fast.
Yeah.
I like also the one where they're tumbling the camera inside
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
bowling ball.
Yeah, that
crazy.
feels so classic Cohen.
Yeah.
Hey, count my gold, sorry.
They do that in Buster Scruggs, the inside of
Oh
the
yeah,
guitar,
the
Yeah.
guitar.
looking out. Yeah, Mr. What's his name? John Goodman's character,
Always
Walter.
relating things to
Thank you.
Nom.
Walter. Yeah, he's a he's been stunted to 12-year-old level. Like he's like 11, 12-year-old mentality in his mind. Just everything
Yeah.
is just black and white, very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So angry.
That's what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass, Larry.
Oh, the sports car. I still want to know how the dude's homework ended up in the car. How that guy's
Yeah,
homework.
it did. So did he take it?
I love that.
I don't know.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
Some dudes in the iron lung.
In true Cohen fashion, they leave lots of things unanswered.
I feel like that's the whole point. That's
Yeah.
what-
They don't
what
they
they're
don't
doing.
tie up all the loose ends.
But I mean, they're not creating loose ends. They're creating things that are meant to take the audience onto a different route or a different thread.
Yeah.
But well, I guess no. I guess that's literally creating loose ends, isn't it?
Yeah, I think in
No.
other movies you'd feel like those are setups for things that are going to have
No,
some
that's what I
kind of
mean. Yeah,
meaning.
they're different setups,
And then
not,
they don't.
not loose ends. So yeah, I love that they do that with their movies. Is they always like, again? I always point back to Blood Simple with the fish cutting to the close-ups of the fish. Or in Barton Fink when he's staring at the ground and then we got a close-up of the ground. Like these kinds of things that they put into the movie, I love their ideas here because they're chopping up movie tropes. They're just taking the trope and being like, well, it's not going to go the way you think, and I love that. And they write it here into the plot. You know, they do that in Fargo a lot too. Having the homework in the car obviously makes them want to go chase after the homework, and then it just leads them absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
I just love that.
Yeah, just bumbling.
Yeah.
The plot is just the most bumbling, convoluted, like non-important but very important story you could write about a character who has no real impact on
That's
any
exactly
of the
it.
plot threads.
That's exactly it.
But just kind of like, it's like if the movie's a river, like the dude is just floating down it.
Dude,
he's just
I
right
would-
in the middle, floating down.
I would love to see them do like a time travel movie.
Whoa.
You know, so I'm thinking about like the same kind of characteristics of this kind of writing is in Back to the Future, where Marty is just a person who the plot kind of happens to. He does have an arc, but the plot makes him do actions, whereas as opposed to other movies where the person is doing the actions that drives the plot. So like everything that Marty did in Back to the Future has such huge implications. So I'm wondering, you know, had the Coens did something like that, having someone who's a bumbling idiot or having someone who believes they have a bigger arc than they actually do, and they keep doing actions that actually change everything.
For the few plot threads that do go unresolved, the Coen brothers in The Big Lebowski do resolve all of the main mysteries in the end, even though the dude had nothing to do with resolving those mysteries other than just being there, and it all just kind of works out on its own. Like
Yeah.
like Bunny just like shows up. Like
Right.
she just goes home
Right.
Yep.
after
Yeah.
her. She just ran off and
So-
just came back, and
Love
then
that,
the
yeah.
nihilist had nothing really
Nothing to do
left.
with it,
So
you
the
know?
dude himself has no impact on the events that take place in the movie,
Yeah.
more or less.
Yeah. Yet a noir mystery plot is still executed from beginning to end.
Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
the narrator still feels comfort that he's out there.
Right.
Taking it easy for all us sinners.
That's so funny.
I loved that last shot we were talking about where they, you pointed it out, Taylor, they have to have 2 different strikes happen in that shot.
Yeah.
And we saw the dude miss his mark at the very end, which I thought was pretty funny.
Not the dude.
Not
not
the
the
dude.
The dude in the back.
I've noticed
The
that
bowler.
since the
bowler,
first
yeah.
time. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not an actor. That's a ringer bowler they
Yeah.
brought in who can throw a strike every time.
Right.
Who's been doing this for hours.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Because it's
camera.
all a one shot.
Yeah.
man.
Camera came up and he's frozen in place.
And they're like, now.
And then he goes. Yeah. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Mark.
And they're just like, that's our best one. We're going to take it. They probably were basing it more on
Performance.
handlebar mustache guy. You know,
Yeah.
make sure.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Gotta
Their main
You got to get
actors?
his
Yeah.
whole line out first
Probably.
before they throw the strike.
And that kind of thing happening in this movie feels kind of right,
Yeah.
even though probably unintentional.
That's funny.
Just in the way, even the way the narrator enters in, like
Yeah.
he's inexplicable. Like, is he even real? Like, is
I don't-
Is
Well,
he a
that's
ghost?
the whole point,
you
right?
know?
Is that they're
He's a magical.
Yeah,
wise
he's like
man.
kind of supernatural.
Yeah, he's the sage.
I
all-knowing.
know Taylor, whenever you say that you talk about or whenever you watch more surreal movies, actually I guess both of you guys, that you like to take things literally, right?
Mhm.
That was just like a thing that you like to do.
Yeah.
And with this, I mean, with this movie with the narrator, I don't see him as a real character ever. I see him as a writing thing, as
Yeah.
a writer saying, hey, what would happen if the narrator came in right now? And I see that as part of the movie. I don't even see him as part of the plot, really. Like, when I think about the movie, I don't ever think
Well,
about
yeah,
the
he's
narrator.
not
No,
really
yeah,
part
yeah.
of the plot at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's completely inexplicable. Like,
Yeah. Well, I
just
mean,
a
but that's in my
force
head.
that exists.
Like the inexplicable part doesn't like, I don't know. It's like not part of the movie in my head.
Mhm.
Like it does happen, obviously, in the movie,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, but normally he'd be like the one who gives us like the morality, like the reason why.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, here's why we're gonna hear the story, and here's what you should have learned.
Yeah.
But the best he can do is say, I don't know why exactly the dude is special.
Yeah.
And then at the end say, well, that's the story. I'm glad it happened.
He's like,
You know?
it turned out all right, I guess.
Yeah.
He's like, I mean, I guess there's a kid on the way. He's like, man, Donnie dies, but there's a new kid on the way, so life has a cycle.
There I go again.
Yeah, then he's like, has to stop himself. Get some more of that good sarsaparilla.
I dig your style, man. You got a cowboy thing going on? Yeah. 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 I think the narrator is the omniscient observer of the
Yes.
story.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's typically what narrators do.
Yeah. But typically they don't
They don't
share
physically appear.
They don't sit at a beer and talk to the main character.
Yeah, I kind of wish they had something more happen there. I wish the narrator did something to
I
the
mean,
plot.
That's kind of like the narrator in Hudsucker Proxy.
I don't
'cause
remember that.
It's the clock guy. The guy that works in the clock
Right,
tower.
right,
He
right, right,
narrates the beginning
Yeah,
and end.
exactly.
He
That's
also
exactly it.
interferes and changes the fate.
See, I really love that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he puts his mop in the gears.
Yeah. Absolutely love that. Yeah, it literally stops time by stopping the clock.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
It's a couple. They're both fourth wall breaks.
No, yeah, sure. But, I mean, even the appearance of the narrator is a fourth wall break.
Yeah.
You know, I like that that he just magically appears again. But yeah, I do wish he did something more than just talk to the characters because I like the unexplainable part. I like the part that the reason why he's there and everything. Like
Sounds
it's just,
like you want
give
meaning.
it too much meaning.
No, I
You
don't
want-
want me.
you
No,
want
I want
meaning?
him to do something.
Ooh.
I want him to do something.
I think by having him do something, you'd run the risk of
No, to have him do
affecting
something.
the plot
That's
a little
the
too
point.
much.
That'd be the funny part, right? I think that would add to the humor. Is that you have the narrator who can't actually do anything do something.
This movie didn't need any more humor.
Yeah,
This movie didn't need something to happen.
This movie needs nothing. How dare you? This is a perfect movie, you bitch.
You bitch.
This was a movie with good characters, great writing, and a theme of nihilism.
Which one? All of the movies?
Hey.
Hi.
Let's compare this movie to pizza.
That's stupid. Why would we ever do that?
It is definitely stupid, but it's what we do.
This movie, 4 stars.
No,
Shit.
4 stars is
Excuse me,
It's-
5 stars.
it doesn't
4 out of 4 stars.
4 out of 4. That's 100%.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
2.
Thank you.
2 stars out of 2 stars.
All right.
I give this movie a star.
That would be funny. A 2-star rating. All movies, it's binary.
Yeah.
Just 1 or 2. That would be weird.
Or 0.
No.
No stars. This movie gets 0 out of 0 stars. That's a nihilist perspective right there.
A passing movie gets a star.
Passing movies receive
All
no stars.
movies get 1 star at least.
You earn a star just
For being a
for
movie.
finishing your movie. That's
like
worth
that.
1 star right there.
If it's good, you get an extra one.
But seriously, though, compare this movie to a pizza.
Jeez. I can do that.
Do it.
Easy.
All right.
This is...
You can't use real pizza. You have to.
No.
You have to get really abstract.
No.
This is easy. This is a Kahlua pizza with vodka and half and half.
That's disgusting.
It sounds like a bad pizza.
That is awful. This is a fresh pepperoni Costco pizza.
Costco.
Costco.
Yeah.
That's gross.
I don't know. Costco's not that good.
Yeah, it's not that good.
Are you shitting me right now?
No,
No.
I'm serious.
No,
Costco
serious.
pizza
No.
is excellent.
No.
Costco pizza is excellent because you've just been following around your mom around Costco for an hour and a half. You're exhausted. You want something. You need
It's a
calories.
mess.
I've gone to Costco just for the pizza.
And she's like, "Yeah, it's $1.50. I'll buy
Many
you a slice."
times.
And you're like, "Oh my gosh, it's the best thing ever." That's why Costco pizza is great.
Well, that might be your Costco pizza rating for you, but that is not
yeah. Well, guess
equivalent
whose
to
opinion
mine.
matters? Mine.
All right, then go.
All right. Cool. This movie. Is that really you standing by that?
Absolutely.
You're done?
Yeah.
Costco pizza.
Yeah.
You're going to stand with that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because this is like, this is the record. You know, we record this. It's published. The world will know. You're comfortable with that. Fine.
Go.
Who am I? Who am I to change your mind?
You're Kenny.
All right. This is this is a ham and pineapple pizza. Really good one.
There's no such thing.
and it's on a table at a party, and there's lots of people there that are happy to be there, and the pizza is what holds the room together. Just really brings the room together. Yeah.
Did someone piss on the pizza?
If they did, it would start a string of events that would lead to
Yeah. Yeah.
someone losing an ear.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
I don't know what to say.
That ear bite was sick. I love that part.
You should have swallowed it.
He chews. He just starts chewing.
Choose it. Yeah. I don't know. It's good pizza.
What
All
did,
right.
what did
Good
this
pizza.
movie do to us?
It's good pizza.
Oh my gosh.
It's the Cohen's fault. It's because they're so one note.
Yeah, we're bored.
We're bored.
We're bored with Cohen's.
Good pizza. Cohen's, you make good pizza, but yeah, we're bored. We want some bad pizza every now and then.
All right, if you're still here and listening, I'm very sorry, but we come out with new episodes.
Please end with an apology.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
sorry. You've wasted another perfectly good 20 minutes listening to the Talkies from Karman Line Studios. Tune in next week and every Friday. Tune in on your dial televisions to catch, because all the places where podcasts exist. We're actually not movie specialists. We're just specialists at comparing things to pizzas.
Correct.
Anything. I can compare anything to a pizza.
It's going to be a 5-minute podcast where we just compare things to pizza. It'll be the same thing for Taylor every time.
It's
It's
like
pepperoni.
it's pretty much a pepperoni pizza.
Okay, goodbye.
Get out of here.